It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without a cheap, crude, and let me just be totally honest, cruel stunt involving Meghan Markle and her bizarre, invisible children, Archie and Lili, who she has pictured in the most bonkers manner against her own husband's wishes during a volunteer visit. Of course, she had to take the attention away from the fact that she had been mocked over her Thanksgiving turkey. And so now, according to People magazine, it's a lovely surprise outing. Apart from the fact that we don't even know if it is indeed these children and how they feel about being weirdly covered up anytime they go. But Meghan has decided to publish her own Thanksgiving message. She's the queen. You see, we have Charles on Christmas Day, but on Thanksgiving, we have Meghan's message, apart from the fact that she's really just using it to sell some really crappy jam. But here goes. From my family to yours, wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving. I am so thankful for your support and warmth as we've grown as ever throughout the year. Lies. And the way in which you've invited this collection to be a part of your home. No, we have not. Being able to play a small role in your memories, family moments, special celebrations, and daily routines is not lost on me. From the jam you layer onto morning toast, or slather onto PB&J for your kids' lunchboxes, the honey you stir into your tea, the candle you light to welcome the day or to close it out with a cozy bath, the bottle of bubbles you pop to celebrate, or the wine you sip as you toast your loved ones you've invited us in. I am privileged that as ever gets a seat at the table with you and the ones you love. Please know that as I look around my home and see my husband, who I secretly can't stand, my children, who are simply props for this business, my family, I guess my mum, she doesn't really want to be around much, dear friends, yeah, they last for a couple of months at a time, and also navigate the timing on the turkey and the love and layers that come with hostessing. Go and serve yourself, okay, in the morning. I feel very grateful for this adventure of life, for the love and support, and for you. Thank you, Meghan. Wishing you a Thanksgiving with full hearts and full bellies. Wonder how your dad's doing in the Philippine high-rise. Thank you for supporting as ever. It really does mean the world to me. As ever, Meghan. Lady Colin Campbell, back home in Castle Goreen. Happy Thanksgiving. Are you blown away by that message of kindness from our Montecito queen?
Happy Thanksgiving, Dan. Weren't you moved?
Oh,
I mean, I was so moved that I've
one
got to
tear
sit
left eye.
right beside me. It's, you know, I I can only think that Meghan is so dumb that she actually thinks that the way to dig her way out of a hole is to make it deeper. Everybody knows that was never is still was never and is going to remain was never because it's not doing well. I mean, not even in the Netflix shop is it being shown. She's had to have a friend give her a dedicated corner of a space. I mean, this is not a mark of success. This is a mark of failure. And on the back of trying to push these ridiculous products, which are wildly overpriced, and nobody's going to be buying them. Nobody has bought them. There's even a 20% discount on them already. What is she doing? She's pretending as if yet another of her failures is a great success. And as for doing it over Thanksgiving and using those children, I mean, if ever there was somebody who indulged in the crassest commercial exploitation of her husband's children, it is Meghan Markle.
Without any doubt, Tom Sykes actually has described it as Meghan's carefully curated clickbait kids, saying they're back for a Thanksgiving special. And he says Archie and Lili re-emerge in the Sussexes' preferred style, half obscured, back turned, artfully cropped, just visible enough to spark fascination, curiosity, and clips. And he adds that Meghan's children are being sold by the inch. Their images drip-fed to the punters as part of the lifestyle she is selling. It's the same routine every time. Meghan shows the children, but not really, reveals them, but not quite, and pretends to actively protect them from media intrusion while still using them to market the Sussex brand in the media. The actual aim of the charade Tom Sykes reports cannot be to keep their identities private, because between the various angles, glimpses, birthday shots, accidentally on purpose leaks, and cutesy Instagram stories, any new normal human brain, never mind AI, can reconstruct their faces without breaking a sweat. He adds, at the risk of stating the screamingly obvious, if you really didn't want your children's illnesses known, you wouldn't put, your children's likenesses known, you wouldn't put their images on the internet. But that's the point. Their images aren't being withheld for privacy, they're being managed for value. He says, I'm now convinced that the fake private aesthetic, the grainy hands, the backs of heads, the half faces, the heavy cropping, is just an incredibly cynical marketing strategy. It allows Meghan to posture as a hyperprotective mother while still releasing images of her kids as content. Lady C, is he right?
Oh, I think he's 100% right. It's so coy, it's so pretentious, it's so in your face, frank lie, denialism of the highest order. You know, I don't want to exploit my husband's children, so I'm going to show them. And I'm going to do it in such a way that nobody can criticize me for exploiting them, except she is exploiting them. Who else in the public arena, whether royalty, aristocracy, or celebrity, uses their children in such a frankly commercial way as Meghan Markle uses Harry's children? Think of it. Nobody uses their children the way she uses her husband's children. I think it's quite frankly reprehensible. It turns my stomach, not only because it is exploitative, but also because it is so frankly dishonest. And she thinks if she is frankly dishonest, people won't see through her game and won't see the lie that she's about. She's not a protective mother. She is a woman who is using the fact that her name is on their birth certificate to exploit those children in the grossest way financially. And nobody uses their children like that. I can't think of anybody I've ever known or known of who has ever used their children the way she's using Harry's two children. I mean, can you think of anybody?
No, I mean, I often think about Michael Jackson's children, but even with him, he wasn't commercializing them. You know, it was odd and it was a very weird childhood, but he wasn't trying to sell them in the way that she is.
She's using them to sell unsaleable products.
Yeah.
I mean, who in their right mind is going to spend $10 or $12 for a pot of puke that's not even jam? It has to be called spread. I mean, is it any wonder that nobody's stocking this stuff? Nobody. I mean, if it were the runaway success that she would like people to believe it was, everybody would be stocking it, you know. But you and I, Dan, have been on to her game from the word go.
Oh, yes.
Because we have both pointed out that from the word go, if you sell out within a few minutes, it means that nobody has faith in your ability to move stock, because that means you don't have enough stock. And I mean, her game is so transparent. I really don't know where she's going to be making the money that she wants to make, because she's not making it through any of these enterprises. And as for stimulating fascination or interest in the children, she's not stimulating interest or fascination in the children. I don't think anybody gives a damn what the children are, what they look like, where they go, or anything. You only are interested in people you know. You're not interested in people you don't know. And dangling those children like masked carrots doesn't do anything for people's interest in them. People are bored to their back teeth with these silly games that Meghan plays. And I think people are turned off by the exploitation of the children. I mean, if they weren't, the products would be selling, but nothing is selling.
Very true. We've got a big reaction from some of our friends. Lady Colin Campbell, Brittany from the Royal News Network posted, "What is Thanksgiving without performative charity, with children in tow and smothering each other to sell the love? Yeah, not buying it. Big question is, did Meghan get a trumpet greeting and a staff member bellowing her title before she walked in to help?" Emma Wolf said, "No, Meghan, no. Tie your hair up. No one should be volunteering in a public kitchen, chopping vegetables, baking cookies, serving up meals to the needy with long hair straggling into the food. Disgusting lack of hygiene and total lack of respect." There was quite a lot of comments on that, actually. The Royal Grift said, "Whoever this little girl is, at least an attempt was made to keep her hair back. But Meghan has got her extensions hanging everywhere while prepping food. Gross." And Nancy Sidley said, "You don't have to use them, but I took the kids out of the pics if you want to post. Meghan is hiding their faces, and then she can complain that people are using her kids for clicks. Don't fall for it. It's a calculated move to raise the bounty on their heads by hiding their faces now. She's actually putting them in more danger. Ask yourself why she never hid their faces for Netflix. Answer, because she was getting paid." And according to Taz, posted, "I thought the whole idea of these appearances was to highlight the good work of others and their organisation. But these two go to Our Big Kitchen and they wear Archewell merchandise and then use the slogan of show up, do good," the Archewell slogan. So they used a charity for self-promotion. And of course, Lady C, they have to do that, don't they? Because Archewell doesn't really do anything, barely makes any money. So as soon as there's an opportunity, they have to sort of piggyback on another charity and try and make it look like an Archewell thing. What do you think of just how unhygienic this woman is, though? I mean, it's so bizarre, given she claims to be such a cooking and lifestyle entrepreneur.
Well, I can only suppose that Meghan, when she bought the hair of those 1,000 Turkish virgins, it came with an antisepticized guarantee, so that it's safe for her to drop the hair of the Turkish virgins in the food that she's preparing. But also, let's remember, she's preparing food for the poor. And we all know that Meghan and Harry, especially, have lifestyles that are very much about the rich and the cultivation of the rich, and using the rich to enhance themselves while using the poor to make out how humane and what wonderful humanitarians they are, while doing the absolute minimum for the poor. And let's also remember that Sophie Chandorka has complained about the fact that Harry and Meghan were using the charity Centre Bali to with their expenses to the detriment of the charity. And if you look at the Archewell accounts, very little goes to a good cause. Most of it goes on expenditure, but then in Delaware, you're allowed to expend 95% as long as you reserve 5% for the cause. So I think, again, all of this is about their errant hypocrisy and how, they constantly try to piggyback on good causes and on goodness to prove how good they are, when all they're proving is how appalling they are.
Totally. And what we haven't even spoken about yet, Lady C, is that actually she really used Thanksgiving. The thing she really wanted to promote is the most cringe-worthy moment of her downfall yet, in my opinion. So Meghan Markle was once a Soho House girl. She thought she had moved past that, but she's now well and truly back to being a Soho House girl. Here's the video that she posted announcing that Soho House in Beverly Hills is now hosting a was never, as you call it, Lady C, pop-up store. And she wrote on Instagram, talk about a full circle moment. In my old stomping ground of West Hollywood, with a brand, family and friends that have been part of my life for so long, and also a part of my love story with H, since our very first date was at a Soho House restaurant. So excited to introduce As Ever Soho House. If you find yourself in LA, come and visit our As Ever pop-up at Soho Home on Melrose Place at 8540 Melrose Ave, West Hollywood. Open to everyone, full collection available, and yummy cafe just across the street. Sounds like a good day to me. I mean, Lady C, this was someone who genuinely thought by now this product would be stocked at every major retailer across America. All she has is a Soho House pop-up in Melrose. It's mortifying.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, the mere fact that she has to go full circle. I started at Soho House and I've ended up at Soho House. Ooh, shall we write I love it on bananas? Or shall we write let's chew? Because the way to succeed in life is to masticate properly. Banana, here we come. I mean,
But
it's unbelievable, Dan.
yeah,
That,
no, it is.
but I suppose it's nice to know that
It's funny.
Meghan, although she looks down on her antecedents when they are people who have done good things for her, such as her father, she doesn't look down on her performative artistry when it turns out that she can make money out of it. And yeah, we all know she started at Soho House with H, and she's back full circle at Soho House with H. As I say, the one thing I'd like to know is what's the message that she's going to deliver to the bananas?
I know. It's a full circle moment, not in the way she would have liked. Now, it's not just her bananas, Lady C, that look completely revolting and inedible. I mean, it's Thanksgiving today. I actually feel sorry for H and for Doria, and certainly for the children who have to down this turkey, which, I mean, she thinks she's showing off with this, right? But I mean, as Princess Carparkle put it, that's about to be the driest turkey ever made. No olive oil, no butter between the skin and meat, no butter BBL, no brine. I'm not sure if that's Meghan Markle's attempt at a dry brine, but that's not it. Nowhere near enough salt, and you need to do the inside as well. Just admit you can't cook, girl. I mean, what did you think of that horrible looking turkey, Lady C?
Well, Dan, I was actually more concerned with the fact that she was busy yet again showing what a total arriviste she is by cooking with jewelry on. Nobody cooks with jewelry, but Meghan cannot be separated from her hard-earned proof of arrival. So wherever it came from, It's gotta be used as proof, and she cannot be separated from these proofs of arrival. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous not only for the people she's cooking for, but it's dangerous for herself. Because if she had the slightest nick on her skin and she got some of the turkey substance stuck under the ring, she could end up with a very serious infection. It's, I mean, it's so unhygienic. And again, I sort of ask, to whom is Meghan Markle pitching all of this? Is it for really very dumb, very poor people who are going to be so in awe of this hustler who ended up a duchess that they are going to spend money they don't have on stupidities? Or is it just for attention? Because it can't be for approval and approbation, because surely somebody has said to her, Meghan, when you cook, you take off your jewelry. You don't have the tear of Turkish virgins slopping around in the bottom of the bowl, along with whatever repositories remain on the ring from last night's activities.
And I don't want to know that.
You know, you don't. So, and she is, if you think about it, who is she aiming all of this at? Because, I mean, it's so unprofessional and it's just so tacky. And everything she does confirms what a total phony, what a total arriviste, how totally curated everything she is about is. The woman doesn't have a natural bone in her body. You know, there's nothing she says or does that she hasn't posed for before. Now, let me see, Mr. DeMille. How do you think it's going to look if I'm off any? And oh, Mr. DeMille, shall I show them that I've really got vivid eyes? Charles Manson, here we come. Really, I mean, if you think about it, the woman is an absolute walking, talking disaster.
Oh, yes.
Nothing she does is anything but a turn off. I mean, I saw her parading around that table in the black outfit, and it looked actually quite good, the black outfit. She looked as good as it's possible for her to look. And I mean, we also have to give credit to the plastic surgeons and other surgeons that are involved. But let's give credit where it's due as well. She's very disciplined in that she doesn't overeat, at least not food of a certain kind. So you know, but just the way she goes about looking at the display in Soho House, you think, so tacky, so girlish, so I'm so infused. I'm 16 going on 60. Oh, I'm just so, everything's just such a wonderful surprise. And life is Hollywood come to life when it's not. I mean, the woman is an absolute textbook case for turning people off. That's my view. I don't know what you think.
No, I couldn't agree more. But Lady C, I do want to ask you about the real royals now, because we have been waiting for this line of succession update. It did come overnight on the royal family website. So this is the removal of the Duke of York's title, or the former Duke of York title. There he was at number 8. Now simply Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. In some ways, the humiliation is complete, Lady Colin Campbell. I mean, quite awful to see in a way.
I think it's a lesson for many people to take on board. I do not think that he deserves all that has happened to him, but I certainly think that he deserves some of what has happened to him. I think also he, with his ex-wife, he's an absolute demonstration of what it is to marry the wrong woman. And I think it's tragic because had he been allowed to marry whom he wanted to, which was Koo Stark, and Koo would have made the most wonderful Duchess of York. They would have had a very happy time together. She would never have been exploitative the way Sarah has been. None of the problems that have arisen as a result of Diana would have arisen had Diana been Princess of Wales and Koo been Duchess of York. I speak from personal experience, incidentally, where the people are concerned. I just make that point slightly for what it's worth.
Yes.
I'm not speaking from out of a textbook. And I think from that point of view, it's tragic. It's also what's happening with the Yorks is also indicative of what in an alternative universe will happen or is happening with the Sussexes, where a man ends up marrying the wrong woman, a woman who turns out to be opportunistic, exploitative, really commercially driven, and it ends in disaster.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, Virginia Giuffre did play a part in all of this, but she's not been the only person who played a part in it, because Andrew has been stripped of his rank, not particularly because of the Virginia Giuffre business, but because of the shenanigans that he and Sarah have got up to over the years. But he's certainly humiliated in the eyes of the world. I think in terms of his own personal existence, people will still refer to him as Sir. People will still ask him out. He will still go to things. He will still have as relatively dignified a life quietly as it's possible to have. But he has been humiliated in the eyes of the world and shorn of all of significance to him, which I think is a tragedy in many ways. And as I said, I think he deserves some of it, but I don't think he deserves all of it. But Harry and Meghan should be considering their positions very carefully. After what has happened with Andrew, and after what happened with the grandchildren of the Queen of Denmark, they ought to be considering their positions very carefully.
Well, exactly. Hold that thought, Lady Colin Campbell, because I want to speak about that much more in the second.
Princess Catherine visits children's mental health charity as she champions early childhood development. Princess Catherine has visited the children's mental health charity Anna Freud, where she was seen interacting warmly with babies and speaking with parents about the importance of emotional development in early life. Her visit focused on the role of relationships, connection, and nurturing environments in shaping the long-term well-being of babies, children, and young people. The engagement coincides with a new project launched by the Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood, in partnership with Anna Freud, aimed at improving the skills of health visitors who support early social and emotional development. The Princess of Wales, a mother of 3, arrived wearing a gray and black collared dress paired with heels. She smiled and waved to assembled onlookers and appeared delighted when meeting families inside. In one affectionate moment that drew attention, a playful baby grabbed her hand and briefly sucked on her finger, making those nearby laugh. Her appearance at the charity came just a week after she delivered a significant speech at the Future Workforce Summit, marking her first public address in almost 2 years. At that summit, she emphasized the importance of consistent, nurturing relationships in helping children develop the stable and meaningful environments needed to thrive. Princess Catherine attended the event to encourage leading businesses to invest in early childhood development. Her participation included an on-stage discussion with Sir Gareth Southgate, the former England football manager, who greeted her warmly as the two exchanged a few words before the panel. More than 80 business leaders were present to hear from experts in human development, leadership, and early childhood. During her speech, the princess urged companies to prioritize what she described as time and tenderness, alongside profit and success. She acknowledged that business leaders face daily challenges in balancing profitability with social impact, but said the two goals should never be seen as incompatible. In her address, the princess spoke about the power of love in early childhood, describing it as an invisible thread woven throughout a child's earliest experiences. She explained that love becomes the foundation for resilience, belonging, and emotional well-being in later life. She reflected on how a loving home teaches children how to care for others, but added that every environment, whether a home, a workplace, or a community, has the power to shape lives. She encouraged business leaders to imagine a world in which all environments valued human connection just as strongly as productivity and achievement. She said that each individual interacts with a variety of ecosystems, from families to workplaces, and that leaders play an essential role in shaping these spaces with empathy and intention. The event was especially significant because it marked the princess's first major public speech since she was diagnosed with cancer in early 2024 after undergoing major abdominal surgery. She stepped back from royal duties for several months while receiving an intensive course of chemotherapy. In January of this year, she announced that she was in remission and has since been making a gradual return to public engagements. Speaking to attendees at the Salesforce Tower in central London, Catherine said that her deep passion for early childhood stems from her belief that the love experienced in the first years of life fundamentally shapes who we become and how we thrive as adults. She described love as the first and, quote, most essential bond that influences lifelong development. Her visit to Anna Freud highlighted her ongoing commitment to early years advocacy, a cause she has championed for more than a decade. Those who observed the engagement said the princess appeared energized and joyful to be back meeting families and continuing her work. The partnership between the Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood and Anna Freud aims to strengthen professional support for young children during their most formative years, reinforcing the princess's belief that early intervention has the power to transform lives.